Yes, I am ready to go live. I was asked and I have answered. Hello there. This is Kim Coles, and I have a very special conversation that's about to happen with the one and only Dr. EJaye Johnson, who's going to talk about elevating your year. And we came up with a really great topic, which is about finding your light in challenging times. Finding your light and utilizing your light and stepping into your light during challenging times. So, welcome to the stage right now, the one and only Dr. EJaye Johnson. I should have your bio here, shouldn't I? I should tell them how you're a coach of many, many years, and how you're an entrepreneur of many, many years, and how you're a genius of many, many years. Or I could just invite to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. EJaye Johnson is joining me for a conversation about light and finding it and enjoying it. Hello, sir.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. So I think I want to tell the people how this came about. We are in Los Angeles even as we speak, and there's a lot of unrest happening here in Los Angeles, and we are here in the United States where there's a lot of potential unrest because there's a political transition about to happen. And we always talk about finding your light and staying in your light and staying true to your light no matter what's going on. So let's have that conversation right now. I'm always intrigued by your commitment to staying spiritually aligned no matter what's going on out there. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's everything that's happening in the world right now. First of all, hello everybody. Happy New Year, everybody. All that good stuff. You mentioned we are in LA and we're praying for those who are faced with the devastation of the fires, and and it's an interesting time here. It's an interesting time in the United States, and it's an interesting time in Los Angeles. And sometimes, life presents itself, life be lifing. And when life is lifing, it's it's the time for us to put into actual practice the spiritual practices that we've studied and meditated and prayed on and fellowshipped about, right? All those things that we learn, um, it goes into effect when it's game time. And game time is when life be life, and that's when game time is. And
Right.
so you're right. I always look for ways to return to my certainty and my natural way of being, which is connected to source, knowing that life is unfolding for the highest and best good of all, even when it doesn't appear to be with
Mhm.
my own eyes, even when tragedy or trauma or calamity happens, there's still something trying to unfold to grow me, to stretch me, to expand me. And that's easier said than done. I'm not saying that that's an easy path, but I found that it's the work that I do when there is no uh, drama or lifing, when
Mhm.
things are calm on the home fronts. It's that inner work that we do during those times that prepares us for times when life is lifing.
True that. It's we always talk about coming back to letting this be your center or your north star, right? And it is difficult, and it's also, I think we could talk about holding space for not only ourselves but holding space for the collective, for the collective. So for us, in our case, we weren't evacuated, or the fires are still burning at this time of this recording. So anything can happen at any time because fire is fire, right? And Mother Nature is Mother Naturing. Um, but for those of us, so we know that if you're in the middle of the worst piece of it, I can imagine how you can shift away from being in a state of calm to being in a state of worry or concern. And then there's the rest of us who are not in imminent danger. How do we stay calm and in the light and hold space for our neighbors and loved ones and people around the country who are going through their own challenges?
Well, you're asking me this question, but you're such an amazing example of doing this as well. So I would love for the audience to get to hear your perspective on this, because
Oh,
you have this way of making your default
yeah,
joy, right?
yeah,
If you looked up in the dictionary uh, default of joy, you probably would see Kim's picture there, because that is kind of like your North Star,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so share with us, I'm turning this question back on to you.
Interview is supposed to be of you, but I like this. I like that we share this way. It's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. And sometimes it doesn't feel like the easiest choice. And then I remember that I have the privilege to choose the state that I want to be in. And sometimes it is tough and it's difficult. And because, we cohabitate, you've witnessed it spiral into a place that I didn't want it to be. And then I have to make the decision to spiral back up to joy and possibilities, and what do I have to learn here, what's here for me to unpack. And the more I do that, and I will just say this, the older I get, the more I get to practice that, and the faster it moves for me. Right, we've talked about that before, that there's a time when I would just spiral all the way down. I'm going to stay down here on the ground. It's like, all right, I'll start climbing back towards joy. And now I realize that I get to have the power to do so. That I may not be able to control the wind or Mother Nature or what's happening in politics or what people are going to say or do, but I can control, and I'll put that in air quotes, I can control, or I can be sovereign, have sovereignty over my state, and to choose joy. Just like you return to love and I choose joy. Between the two of us, we're gonna figure it out. And so it's just making a choice, a conscious choice, and be intentional. Not only for me, and I'll give it a 1-2 punch, that it's not only looking for the joy, of finding the joy, of making the choice to return to joy, to return to that default position, but also to go looking for the lesson. Because I'm curious, and that is joyful for me. I can go, okay, what do I have to learn here? And then I get joyful about the fact that I might be experiencing a lesson that I don't have to go through again. So I'm like, oh, yay, I got the lesson. Yes. On to the next, please. So I get really excited about going, okay, that was a mistake or a challenge or a worry or something, or it was a lesson that I have now, ding, I can check off that list, or I now become more proficient at it so that when it presents itself next time, it's no thing. It ain't no thing. So
Because it will resurface, right? It is going to come back. And I just to interject there for a second, you talked about lessons, and we're in a very interesting time,
yeah.
part of the year, and the alignment of the cosmos at
Mm-hmm.
this time, right? For the next 6 weeks, we are in a state of kind of like review, like lesson review period, if you will, during this time, where some of those lessons where we thought we overcame those things, or we broke through, or we got the lesson, we took it in, we integrated it, they may resurface
Yeah.
again,
Yes.
just to confirm, almost like a final exam, just to confirm that you really locked in the lesson. And so during the next 6 weeks is that period where all those
Mm-hmm.
lessons we may have broken through in 2024 and even before, they may come back and surface over this next course of this next 6 weeks. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like the final exam before we move on to our next expression.
Right. It's almost like
And
that lyric in, what is it? Who is it? Hello, darkness, my old friend. Who is that?
hello, darkness,
It's
my
my
old
old friend. It's like,
friend.
hello, lesson, my old friend. I told you something popped up for me today, and then we're going to talk about some tools that people can use to find their light and stay in this light. So if you're coming in, that's what we're talking about right now. Something popped up for me today, and I won't go into the details, but I had to really check myself before. What is it? Charity, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Right? Did I get that right? I had to check myself on my judgment. There's someone that I judge for a way of being, and then the lesson came for me. I got smacked up in the head about, oh wow, I have to really look at this judgment because the judgment got turned on me. That's all you need to know. And I was like, oh, judge not lest ye be judged. Or who are you to judge someone else's journey and to look at it through the lensing of your own experience? And we do that. We're human. That's humans humaning. And I got a real nice clunk on the noggin that no, you're in judgment, and now you're witnessing what it's like to be judged, and now you get to look at it and hello judgment, my old friend. Got the lesson. I hope
it comes back pretty quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does come back. I don't want it to come back again, and it might, but let's see how I handle it next time. Oh, it's going to come back, but it's how you handle it, right?
Yeah, and I mean, look at the breakthrough that you got. You didn't suffer through that for days and days and days. I witnessed it from the outside looking in, and it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It sometimes we put ourselves through the suffering for years, decades, lifetimes even.
Yeah.
But you broke through, you went back to your default, and it was like it was a half an hour. It was less than an hour for sure,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
For sure. So thank you.
So the lessons come, but when we have mastery, when in the training time, when we're constantly in practice, looking for these things, asking these questions, being curious about how our perspectives get formed about the events and things that are occurring in our experience. When we have that curiosity in the non-dramatic time, right, then when something like this emerges, you can turn it around quickly, and then you move on, and now you're available to the blessings or to the gifts and the beauty and divinity that's right there waiting to show up. Right.
Nice. Good stuff.
Great job for you.
As you always say, good stuff. Thank you. What would you say is another way that we can navigate these times and stay in the light? As you're thinking about that, I would say that, there's two conversations I'm seeing, especially here in Los Angeles right now. There's the wildfires, as you all know, and welcome those of you coming in. I'm Kim Coles. This is Dr. EJaye. We're talking about finding your light in these times and staying in the light. There's a couple of conversations that are happening at the same time. There's, this devastation, and people are losing their homes and losing their belongings, and some people losing light. And then there's this other side of the blame, and who do we blame, and what do we do, and how do we point? And it's like, I'm like, how do we have time to point fingers at what could have happened, or what could have been different, or who's to blame, versus how we use our humanity to help our fellow man? And so I have chosen, again, a choice, to focus more on the ways humanity is showing up, and showing up so beautifully. And, as you know, we went to go and help out in Pasadena to help this restaurant, a Caribbean Soul Kitchen, serve food. And when we got there, they had run out of food because they had fed all of the people. And they're like, we need more meats. And we're like, we're going to get you some more meats. And so the humanity, I saw Jennifer Lewis unpacking her car with garbage bags full of clothing that she had gone to donate. The donation centers are like, we're full right now. Come back later. And so I'm choosing to look at humanity. And so I think I asked a question early on, and I started to tell this story. What's another tool that we can use to stay in tune with our humanity and in tune with light?
That was a lot. I think, one of the things that I always go back to is really connecting to the beauty and divinity that's always present. Even when I look out at a city that I grew up in and love, and I see it on fire at different ends of the city, all areas that I have enjoyed, while being here, being a native of Los Angeles. And I look at the devastation that's there. I'm still, even though there is sadness present, I'm not denying those very real feelings. I'm acknowledging those feelings of sadness and even, despair in some cases. I'm acknowledging those, but I'm not living my life operating through the filter of those.
Mm.
It's about acknowledging the feelings, and that acknowledgement almost it loosens the grip that the feeling has on us when we acknowledge it, when we fully embrace it and acknowledge it.
Mm.
And it's interesting because I talked about this in a little workshop, a live stream I did yesterday on my YouTube channel about, navigating trauma, natural disaster trauma, and how can we heal ourselves at the same time. Like when the trauma is occurring, we have the ability to heal that trauma at the same time so that it doesn't attach to us in a very permanent way, where it goes into this automatic way of being in our life, and then it trickles down from the emotional state into a very physical state, and then becomes something like dis-ease, right, in the body. And so how can you, if this is answering your question, what tools can you put in place is to consistently acknowledge the feelings that come up, never try to suppress them or hide them or dismiss them, but really get present to them and then get curious about them. Like, what are they here for?
Mhm.
What are they trying to share with you? What are they trying to reveal for you? Kind of like what you were just saying. And then it's about looking for the beauty in that. Where can you find where the God of your understanding stands in the midst of all of that? And how can you see that beauty always? Like knowing that it's always present, even in the most traumatic events. Beauty is still available. Divinity is still available to us. Gratitude is still available to us. And, that's often some of the toughest work to do is when we're in pain or we're suffering, to really connect to that higher vibrational tone of gratitude, of beauty, of optimism. So it's
Mhm.
about just trying to heal at the same time,
Yeah.
acknowledging and healing at the same time.
Mhm. Nice.
Stay as well mentally, emotionally, and physically as we can.
Thank you for that. We.
A lot of comments. I don't know if you
You
see
said
those. I
what?
can read them.
Oh,
I
there's
don't have
lots of comments. Definitely take a look. What's interesting is that everybody gets pretty excited for the new year to come in, right? Like, oh, new year, new me, or whatever the conversation is. And this year I was sort of like, I'm excited for a new year, but I don't know how I'm going to really. There was so much that happened at the end of 2024, and in the middle of all of that, I just was like, I don't really know. I haven't set any goals yet for 2024, 2025, I should say. And in fact, I don't even set resolutions anymore. I'm like, I'm not setting myself up for failure, because it feels like you're setting yourself up for failure if you don't have a system in place, or if you don't know how to take intentional action, how to take, as you would talk, be spiritually aligned. And so on New Year's Day, uh, EJaye led a little workshop, and a workshop, there was me and one other person, on this beautiful system that you have, this beautiful system. I don't know if you call it a ritual or a system to help elevate the year. So, in other words, rather than listing a bunch of resolutions or having affirmations that I'm like, I don't, okay, I'll say it, but I don't know if I haven't rooted into it yet. You have a system for helping people get intentional, get spiritually aligned, and really plan their year from that space. And you said something at that time that I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. You're like, affirmations are crap. No affirmations. And that's not the Wakanda thing. That's like,
Yeah,
affirmations.
affirmations are crap.
That's big
Yeah.
thinking. So, talk about affirmations being crap. And then, if you could talk about your elevate your year process. And we're going to share with people how they can also come and work with you and experience how to elevate their year. I'm going to say the right way. I don't mean that in a judgy way, but from a place of spiritual alignment first. Why are affirmations crap, EJ?
Affirmations are crap. The reason why I say that is because affirmations require more energy than is commonly given to them. And what tends to happen in general, certainly no one watching this, because everyone watching this is lockstep. They're in their manifestation zone, right?
Yes.
But when we just take on reciting something over and over and over again without generating it from our core energy, and the generation process is not just saying something, it's actually feeling that the impact of what those words represent, and it's co-creating its real existence with your higher self, the creator of your understanding, so that you are in congruency with that which the affirmation declares, right? So I can say I'm 6 feet tall and I'm muscular. I'm 6 feet tall and I'm muscular, and I can make that my affirmation, but it doesn't mean anything if there's no congruency and united creation between me, my higher self, and the creator of my understanding. And so those words are empty if they're not generated, right? And so that's why I say affirmations are crap. Yes. Should you still have affirmations? Yes, but you get to generate the creation of those affirmations. And there's a process that you can utilize. And here, I have a teacher who says there are many schools. There are many schools that lead to the same enlightenment. Many schools, not just one. So, do I think that my way is the only way? No. I think there are many ways to reach your goal, your desire for what you want to manifest or create or generate in your life. And I have created a system that I know works for me, my students, my clients. And it's called the Elevated Vision Practice. And that Elevated Vision Practice walks us through the process of, first of all, connecting with the higher power of our understanding, connecting with our higher self, and co-creating a vision and intention for ourself and our life. So it's not just about looking out there saying, I want X, I want that car, I want that house, I want $1 million or $10 million. It's not just about that. It's about literally generating and creating the vision of our life that's in alignment with our soul's purpose, our heart's intent, and then has a physical representation like a car, a house, whatever that is. But it's about having all of your spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical bodies in alignment and congruency for what it is you want to create for 2025 and beyond for your life. And
Nice.
so it's a very intentional way to go about uh, attracting, manifesting, and realizing that which you want to see when you look out into your bank account and your life or your relationship in a way that is in full alignment. And so we walk through this process, and that's what we did on New Year's Day, which is one of the most powerful days to do this. Any day is the most powerful day to do this process, but certainly it was a great experience for us to kind of vision this and share in community, because once we speak it into existence and share it with others, it now takes on another creation process. It's another step in the creation process.
Mm.
So we had that experience on January 1st, and uh, I decided to do it again
Thank
for uh, my community, for your community, for whoever feels inspired to become fully aligned with what it is they want in their life without, trudging upstream or paddling upstream trying to make goals work and stay on this resolution or goal experience, doing vision boards and saying affirmations that never get realized, but really putting another level of energy, more like 3 4 other levels of energy behind that, without the trudgery of disappointment and overwhelm, but really like taking this to a spiritual level to attract and manifest and create the life that you absolutely deserve,
you.
that are entitled to, desire, and is available to each
Okay.
and every one of us.
I'll ask you to share the page with everyone. We got something special for you and something that came to me as you were talking. So the affirmations may work, they could, but when you turbo boost it with all of these other layers, it's like it sounds like it's intention with with a Superman cape on it or something. It sounds to me also like you will want to be in action. The thing about manifestation that people forget about is like you got to do the work. You got to be in action. That's one of the steps. I think people sit and wait for things to come, but you will want to be in action. You will want to be activated on your affirmations and your intentions because you've aligned it right. Would you say that would be another way to look at it? Because that's what I'm taking from this.
Yeah, well, you want to be in action, but now you have the actions to be, be in forward motion toward the thing that you desire, rather than kind of spinning wheels waiting for something to drop in, right? It's about meeting the creator, meeting your higher power to offer your contribution of action
Mhm.
toward the thing that you desire.
Your contribution of action. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Well, I'm going to share the link. If this sounds
Oh,
interesting to
okay.
everyone, I'm going to share the link, and you can share the page if you'd like, please. It's
Oh,
a day long activity called Elevate Your Year, and I want to say up front that you've offered to do something really special with the proceeds of this class.
yeah. So here's the cool thing about it is, first of all, there's an investment. It's a day long live virtual event. Replays are available. There's a workbook. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, and I keep adding more and more stuff to give.
That's you.
So there's a whole bunch of other stuff. There's private community, all that stuff. You can read all of this stuff on the page. I'd love for you to be there if you feel moved, touched, and inspired to do so. The second thing is there's an investment. There's an investment of your time. There's an investment of your heart. There's an investment of your creativity, and there's an investment of $55. And the proceeds from this, here's the beautiful thing about this, is the source of abundance and prosperity for myself does not come from this. The beautiful thing is that the proceeds from this get to go to help the people who have been affected and impacted by the California fires or Los Angeles fires. And so this is my way of giving back to a city that has given me so much joy and love, and some of the communities in like Pasadena and Altadena that are people of color that have lived there for generations and no longer have um, their legacy to give on to their family in the form of the house that they bought and owned. And so this is a great way for me to support that community. And so when you come, if it isn't enough to come and be a part of this with us, um, your investment of $55, those proceeds go to the fire survivors in helping them to rebuild. This rebuild process. Keep in mind the fires are still going, but this healing process can happen at the same time. And the rebuilding is going to be a road ahead. It's going to go long beyond when the fires end, because literally houses are burned to the ground. Like there's not even a structure there. And so all the financial support we can provide, yes, FEMA will offer some, but there are communities of people that don't feel comfortable asking for that sort of help. There are people who will be able to help that maybe won't go and ask for help from FEMA. And so this is a great way to be a part of that movement as well. Should you decide to be a part of this and come hang out with me on January 25th, we're going to map out the rest of the year and spiritually, mentally, and emotionally align you with that which you want to see in your life for 2025, so that you can make a bigger impact in the lives that you make an impact in. And at the same time, you'll be making a generous impact on the fire survivors here in Los Angeles.
Nice. So I know that the investment is $55. That's the early bird until I think January 20th. And
Yes,
I think
January
it's
20th.
up to what, 88?
$88.
So this is like a chance to get it at a lower investment, but a
Yeah.
high investment of energy and give back, because we want to give
And
back.
those, can I say this, Kim? Those numbers were chosen intentionally, right?
Mm.
So 55 is a manifestation number
Mhm.
in numerology, and 8 is an infinite manifestation number. So right now it's $55. If you want to maximize your manifestation, pay $88. Whatever you want. But all that being said is that this is really designed to be able to give back to the community, and also be able to offer the more of us that realize the life that we desire and we want, and learn these tools on how to do this on your own, and be able to share this information that you're going to get with other people and have the life that you desire. The more of us that do that, the better I feel this planet is.
Mm.
And it wouldn't matter, you know, I'm reminded of a line from Wicked that is, she says, no wizard that ever is or was will ever bring you down. Well, once you manifest in this way, you elevate your ability to draw in what it is you desire. No wizard or orange person that there is or ever was will ever be able to bring you down. Period.
No orange person, no challenge, no, nothing can bring you down
Yeah.
if you make that choice. If you make that choice now. Nice. I like that. I took down the pages. I wanted to see your face because I knew you were going to say something real, real profound. I wanted to get just you
You see
right
my
there.
face every day.
I love your face every day and everything else.
I love
Um,
your face.
would you say what?
I love your face too.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now you're catching it. Everybody's witnessing us love on each other. In case you didn't know, Dr. EJaye is my beloved. I made very intentional choices in my life to even magnetize you in my life. And I'm so grateful for that. And, you know, love on yourselves more, love on your families and your loved ones and your communities. I'm so touched by people I haven't heard from in so long, who are reaching out going, are you okay, are you all right? People are really checking in on each other. Again, I'm choosing to look at that. I'm pivoting over here to look at the experiences that are joyful and positive and loving and spirit based, rather than looking at the things that are well, I see them. I don't want to look at them, but I see them. I'm focusing on the good and focusing on the ways that I can give more, be more, and find more light in challenging times, which is the title of our talk. Is there any final word that you'd like to say? I know you've got a class that you're teaching in a few minutes. Is there
Oh
anything that
wow, yeah, I do have another class to teach.
yeah, that's I want to get you. I
Actually, it's
promise
a
you
book
30 minutes.
club,
Yeah.
and we're in our book. But
What book are you reading?
yeah,
What
I
book are
think
you
you
all
have
reading?
some comments.
Oh yeah, share.
So I'm trying to read them. I don't have my glasses on, but yes, you could get the recording. I see someone saying, hopefully, you can watch the recording. Um, I think it's Dr. Ida on here. Hey, Dr. Ida.
Dr.
Uh,
Ida's here. Yay.
I can't.
Put your
Can you see
glasses
the?
on.
Okay, let me put
I
my
see
glasses.
Vanessa and Maurice. Hey, Maurice, Jordan, how are you?
Yeah.
Oh, Valika says she's going to share for others to join.
Oh,
Oh, it's
cool.
Dr.
Thank you
Ida.
for
Oh,
sharing.
that's Dr. Ida. Got it. Hey, Dr. Ida.
Yeah. Cool.
Share this with
I don't
others.
see any questions. I got
Sorry.
I don't see any questions.
Okay.
It's a lot
If
of
anybody has
comments.
any questions, we'll take a few questions and then we'll let him go because he's going to prepare for his book club. This is really cool. EJ has something, elevated is his word. Elevation and
Kind
elevated
of
is
my
one of
word.
his, favorite words that he uses and intentionally chooses to infuse into his offerings and the way that he coaches others. And there's something I was going to say about that. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, I
Uh,
think you were talking about the book club.
Oh yeah, so you have the Elevated Book Club, and so he every 6 to 8 weeks or so he and sometimes I join, sometimes I don't because I haven't been reading the books, but I listen in the background. You choose these books that elevate your mind and your spirit, and right now you're reading Flow, right?
Yeah. Flow by Mihei Csikszentmihalyi.
How do you say that? Right.
And it's about how to keep that zone of genius energy present in your life all the time, like how to stay in flow.
Yeah.
It's a great
And
book.
and you all just finished Zone of not the Zone of Genius. What is it
Genius
called?
zone.
The Genius Zone. I think my intention for the year. So everyone here, if you'd like to just put a word that is either your word for the year or the energy that you want to have for the year, that would be kind of cool to close this out with
Mm.
that. My energy, one of my words is intention. That I want to stay conscious and in intention in as much that I do. And you fall off, but you can get back up, right? And so I want to be intentional in what I allow in to my
Mm.
my body, my spirit, my realm. I'm being really intentional about the people that I'm around, and not even like I don't want to. I'm kicking you out the tribe. Like I don't even have to kick you out. You will fall out of the tribe on your own because I'm being so intentional in my way of being that you're not going to want to be around this unless you want to come on for the ride and being intentional in your life too. And so I see overflow. I see perseverance. What is your word?
Mm.
What is your word for the year? And I'll leave this up. Resilience. I love it. I'll leave
Nice.
these words up. We have so many doctoral candidates in
Isn't
our
that great?
it's really
I
cool.
love that.
I love it too.
My
Congratulations, all
word
of
for
that.
the year is um, presence.
Okay. Presence.
It's being present.
I'm saying intentional, but I think I mean presence. Yeah,
Yeah,
presence.
I really got I was in meditation and I really got this big like it just showed up really big in my train of thought. It just kept coming back, presence.
Mm,
And I'm really clear that we all probably need to really pay attention and be present to
mm,
what's being said and what's being done and what's not being said and what maybe you don't see, but just being fully engaged and present. It's no longer we don't have the luxury of not paying attention.
mm. As our girl Elphaba says, too late to go to sleep. Isn't that one of the lyrics? She's not going back to sleep. She's choosing to be intentional and defy gravity and all the other references. I mean, I still have my green nails from falling in love with Wicked. So
we're up to what, time number 6? We've seen it 6 times now.
Yeah, we have. And now
Nessa,
I
won't sing this song.
You know, I'm going to get you to sing that live one time. He does a beautiful, for those of you who've seen Wicked, we do a beautiful rendition of Nessa Rose and Bach at the Ozdust, which is hysterical.
Yeah, but see, you want me to sing it live on one of these live streams, and your part is like so small. It's like most of it is me.
We deserve each other. I see authentic. I think I said overflow. We deserve each other. Don't we, Bach? Yeah.
You know what? Let's dance.
Let's dance. I'm going to let you dance and go get ready for class. Thank you so much
everybody.
For sharing space with me and with everyone who's here. We're going to leave this recording up. You can go to coachkimcoles.com/elevate in caps if you're ready to elevate your year and elevate your life and those around you. Let's be present and intentional together. Come on through. You will love the class. You'll love the way EJ teaches, and you will leave with something to not only elevate this year, but onward and onward. Thank you,
And
EJaye.
the icing on the cake is you'll be helping the fire survivors in Altadena and Pasadena, which is pretty amazing.
Indeed. Thank you all, everybody. Off you go. Fare thee well. Woo, woo, woo.